All right. Well, good morning, everyone. Ken McBee coming to you live from Phoenix, Arizona. Today, we have Nate Obray. He is our Director of Trailer Network Management with us. I've asked Nate to join us because previously we've done some surveys. Again, feedback is a gift. We appreciate all the feedback that you give us through all the different forums, whether it be surveys, voice your choice, or just even talking to our terminal leadership. But one of the things that came up in our recent engagement survey that we did in February was that, hey, this is one of the top items we would like you to work on at Swift for 2021. So we thought, who better than Nate to join us and give us an update? So how you doing today, Nate?
Doing good, Ken. Thanks so much for having me. Looking forward to getting on and talking a little bit about our trailers today.
Appreciate it. We are going to have updates like this here weekly. That we will have. We'll have Nate back. This is, I think, your first time, but we're going to have you on here more often, at least every 4 to 8 weeks, giving updates on what project, what's going on in the project, what you're doing, how things are improving, and getting drivers' feedback more. Right.
Absolutely, and looking forward to doing it.
All right. So let's just start with I think we need to get to a baseline of, hey, tell us, about Swift's trailers. How many trailers does Swift have?
Yeah, so we've got just short of 50,000 trailers out there in our trailer network. When we look at what we have there for our trucks versus our trailer ratio, that equates to about a 3.95 trailer ratio versus those trailers. So the majority of those trailers are always out and running in the network, available for use for our drivers. We do have certain projects that we work throughout the year, but the ratio such as that, you can tell at 50,000 trailers is a pretty large fleet that we're operating here.
Well, and having that kind of versatile trailer network, that allows us to have so many drop and hook, uh, you know, times that, for our drivers, makes it convenient, right? A lot of our shippers and receivers are drop and hook. So that's a big benefit to Swift and their drivers and their customers.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got trailer pools obviously set all over with our customers throughout the country, and just like you mentioned there, it gives us the opportunity to really leverage the equipment that we have out there and really open it up to what we have for available and ready equipment for our drivers.
Excellent. So, the big question a lot of times drivers are asking is, how many trailers is Swift going to buy this year?
Yes, that's a great question, and that's something that does come up frequently and every year, of course. So yeah, we are purchasing trailers this year. We have the past few years, ever since I've been involved here, and we purchased them last year. They're actually continuing or starting to roll off of the line now. We'll see these trailers come out here within really the next week. So without getting to overall numbers, we've purchased a significant amount of trailers all over the country, coming out of various manufacturers that will be out and into our drivers' hands here very shortly. So excited to continue to grow that. We've seen increased demand from our customers and growth opportunities of where we can put these trailers to work out there. And that started in 2020 and continued into 2021. And just really looking forward to getting them out there. If you've seen the trailers we purchased last year, beautiful trailers, we've got the same ones coming out this year.
And I believe all of them have the new standard of the blue doors in the back, right?
They sure do. Yep, every single one of them.
Okay. And so I know we're purchasing thousands of trailers, but the great thing I thought I heard, in discussions was, it's not just, hey, we're replacing dry vans this year. I've seen where it's flatbeds, refrigerated trailers, right? Dry vans, all kinds of, we're purchasing various amounts, right? Everybody's getting a little bit of new.
Yeah, absolutely. So, obviously the operation of our line haul group requires dry van trailers is the largest out there. But no, we've got operations such as flatbed and our refrigerated group that we're purchasing new equipment for, that's coming out this year as well. Certainly don't want to leave those folks out, and look forward to getting those coming.
And do we have a trade cycle? Like, for instance, with our tractors, we try to do 2.5 to 3 years where we're trading tractors. I would guess that trailers are much longer, that we keep them because of use. But is that 10 years, 15 years? What do you have an idea of what that looks like, or is it just kind of to be determined as we go?
Well, yeah, I'll tell you, we focused a lot in the past around, trailer cycles and what we thought that meant and was a good time to cycle the trailers out based on age. We're seeing based around what our shops are capable of doing, really the work that they're putting in and the longevity that our trailers can take moving forward. We know that we don't have to necessarily go on a full cycle and sell the trailers, as specifically lined up as we can. We can kind of, just as you said, as to be determined. We'll work through what may need to come out of the network based around damage or anything that we see throughout the year, but proactively cycling trailers out of the network is non-existent this year. That's not the focus by any means. As I said, we've got some really good opportunities to put these trailers to use out there based around some customer needs and some of the opportunities we have. So, at this point, hoping to keep everything that we have, or we don't have to. We'll lose a bit just to normal wear and tear throughout the year that we'll scrap or sell that way.
Well, I guess that kind of transitions to my next question would be, what are the plans for 2021 to remove some of those old trailers? Because there are some in there that we probably need to get out of our system, right?
Well, yeah. For the most part, we've got some trailers out there, really a small percentage that we're looking at this year. Equipment that we look back into the mid early 2000s that we'll be pulling out of the network as needed. But again, the focus is really not to be removing any. We want to add trailers to our network this year and reduce as little as possible.
Perfect. So, do all of our trailers have a GPS tracking unit?
All right, so that's a good question. The short answer would be no. Not all of them do have the tracking. However, a large percent of our trailers do have operational tracking. This is an area that we really identified this year as kind of a building block or a stepping stone, if you will, of what we can do with a high percentage of our trailers tracking based around visibility, accuracy, driver trailer solutions, just really a number of different things. So, we've had a campaign around trailer tracking going that we started back in 2020, really pushing to get new trailer telematics or new telematics onto our trailers that we're working through. It's carrying extremely strong into 2021. We're pushing. We want to get this done as quickly as we can. We've brought in some third-party folks to help us out with kind of shrinking that timeline as well. And the shop's just doing a great job. They're staying extremely focused, and the ultimate goal is to get that trailer tracking percentage within the fleet up to about 95%, and work from there. So I think we're on a good pace to get that accomplished in 2021. But as I mentioned, there's just so much that we can do, data-wise, and for our drivers and really for our customers, everybody out there, with just more visibility and transparency to our trailer network.
Excellent. And I would encourage everybody as we go through this, please submit questions. We're going to answer them as we go too. But hey, one of the questions that I see that has popped up that kind of goes hand in hand, and I'm going to give you two parts here, is why is it so hard to find an empty is what we hear as a common theme sometimes. But really it's, hey, how do we find an empty, or what are we doing to give a better trailer solution, I think is the better question, on the first attempt, right? We don't want to run around. So how do we get that trailer on the first attempt? What are we doing for that?
Absolutely. So the first piece to that is really balancing out the network. We've got some areas, which these new dry vans will be coming in that we're going to put towards increasing the overall trailer volumes in those markets. So that's kind of a step number one. But long term, and what we're working through from a driver perspective is our auto trailer solutions piece that we're really excited about. In the past, a lot of solutions that were provided to our drivers around grabbing an empty trailer were driven either manually from our planning group, or even what was kind of spotted within our system of where we were showing a trailer based around some of the work that had been done. With this tracking that I talked about, I mean, that just opens up the doors for a number of different things around this trailer solutions piece, but really to identify where that trailer is by how it's tracking, what its GPS latitude and longitude is showing versus what a computer input might have been saying. So with that said, we're working diligently on that. We're getting very close. The whole goal here would be to provide that straight to the driver based around the actual latitude and longitude of that trailer. So a driver instead maybe have gotten customer code or directions that way on where to go to look for a trailer. Well, this will actually be securing, identifying, locking that trailer as a solution for the driver, and then sending that over to them with turn-by-turn directions. So extremely excited. We think that actually providing the trailer tracking piece around that for a solution based around tribal knowledge or things like that we may have leaned on a little bit in the past. So that coupled with we're looking at providing a driver app as well, which would kind of coincide with this auto solutions piece that would almost, if you will, kind of a show me trailers near me type piece for our drivers that allows them to, based around the same tracking as well, give them a couple of different options, what's around them that's saying, hey, this trailer's empty, it's sitting over here at this customer, we've verified it, it's showing on the cargo sensor as empty, and sending that over to the driver and really giving them some freedom to kind of make a choice on what they think is the best trailer for them to go after as well.
Boy, that sounds like a game changer, showing me trailers near me. That's somewhat like, hey, show me restaurants near me, right? Or show me fuel stops if you typed it into your phone. So that'll definitely be a game changer. We can't wait for that technology to come out. Now, even when those trailers are shown next to you, near you in that new app, the next question I would ask you is, what are we doing to get customers to release trailers? Even if we show they're empty, we get sent there. That happens quite a bit, I think. And then a customer goes, no, I'm holding on to that trailer. So what are we doing as a company to get those customers to release those trailers when they don't need them?
Yeah, absolutely. That's another major focus point for us in 2021. A lot that came out of the feedback from our drivers on the survey as well. We understand that, hey, when a driver delivers an inbound loaded trailer to a customer and they're refused and empty, there's a lot of costs and a lot of grief and things that come with that. Obviously, takes time and money to rebuild trailer pools and work through that. And then most importantly is it wastes the driver's time. We've got to find them another auto solution. We've got to send it to them. We've got to verify all these different things in the background to get that driver to an empty where he can grab it and get moving again. So with that said, we're focused heavily on some new bobtail reporting that we put into place. It's something that we've looked at in the past, but we're excited for what we think we can do with it this year. We've already came across some great examples, but that's initially looking at, hey, when our drivers are delivering into a customer and being told that, we're identifying that piece, we're capturing those events, and we're working directly with our customers and sales team and accounts team within Swift as well. But with customer directly around making sure that those trailers are emptied in a timely fashion and available for our drivers. So we'll continue to work through that piece and monitor. But that's certainly something that we see to open our customers' eyes, and we can provide some other options to them around trailer detention or leasing or any of these other options where it might fit better for them, but push into to ensure that the trailers are emptied in timely fashion.
So I don't know that we probably have that all dialed in yet, but this is part of that project team that you're going to be leading, right? So I guess what I just to kind of go back to you, what I'm hearing from you is we're going to get sales, customers, accounts, everyone involved. So if a driver is sitting there, the future may look like where, hey, the driver says, hey, driver leader, I'm sitting here, and we get all hands on deck to get a trailer released or find the solution, right?
Absolutely. So front end wise, just like you said, we're going to be diligently working on freeing that equipment up. Obviously, we've got a lot of resources in place to do that between our planners, our accounts leads, our trailer network team. So yeah, that's first line, but really is capturing where this is becoming an issue and mitigating that piece and hopefully eliminating the bobtail piece down the line.
Awesome. Now, is Swift using any specific metrics to measure the utilization of their trailers? So, for instance, I think some of the problems we see where maybe an inspection expires or something like that is because the trailer might sit somewhere, right? It just kind of gets lost in the fold for 30, 60, 90 days or however long. So are we looking at how we can keep those trailer turns moving, so therefore annual inspections and things like that stay in order?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're always focused and looking to increase the efficiency and utilizations of our trailers. That's a major focus of it, like you said, or I touched on in the beginning of the call here that we've got 50,000 trailers out there. So as we work the tracking, we'll have better visibility towards all that. But we've got a lot of work to do. But really, metrics wise, increasing that efficiency. One of the biggest things that we look at outside of the bobtail reporting that I mentioned is we've got some inbound loaded to empty reporting that we're doing, basically tracking how long it takes a customer to unload that equipment and when it'll be available. A lot of that is due to, we require a certain amount of turns per trailer per week, or loads per trailer per week is a metric that we look at, and really, focus working with our customers on driving that and ensuring that we're getting that done. So that reporting, as well as our idle percentage reporting as well. We've got equipment, just like you mentioned, we spot into certain customers, and sometimes things may happen to where the loads might not be coming out, or things may change, and that idle percentage that we're capturing, as well as trailer by location, we're going out there and we're taking that and we're shuffling around and really using those trailers to go balance the network, or move to customers, other customers that are better utilizing our trailers and equipment.
Perfect. So how can our drivers give feedback when they face trailer situations, whether in bad condition or just bad situations? What do you suggest?
With that, we're working through it across the board. As you mentioned, the surveys that are coming out, obviously we want to get that feedback from our drivers. We certainly appreciate every piece of information and feedback they provide us that way. If there's any issues whatsoever, the first line of defense and kind of the easiest way that we've seen is working with your driver leader. A lot of drivers have chose to pass that information along to a driver leader that they've relayed on to us, which we certainly appreciate. But really the second line, and close second, is the voice your choice that we have within Swift, where drivers can reach out. That's a direct line of contact to myself and our trailer network team. So really any questions that they have, they can leave a remark, put in there, any frustrations, or really anything that they want to talk about or want any direct response to. That's a way for them to do it, and we'll take that information and we'll respond back to them, and hopefully answer the questions and build on making it a better experience for them in the future.
Perfect. Hey, let's hit some of the questions now, Nate. One of them, I'll take the first one here. It says, when are we expecting the macro for T-calls? That also kind of deals with trailers, but we've went to that touchless T-call at all our terminals. So the macro we are shooting for right at the beginning of April. If you're geofenced within that location, you'll be able to send a macro in. It'll do the drop and hook, actually T-call you, either attach a new trailer or dispatch you on your new load. That's, of course, as long as there's none of the inclusions included, like, hey, I haven't confirmed my logs, or you're not geofenced in that area, or anything like that. So that is coming at the beginning of April. One of the questions is the tracking part of the Genesis program you're upgrading to?
So no, not at this time. No, the tracking. Okay. Is what we've gone out and hired a vendor to pull that piece together. We'll be capturing that tracking, but no, not at this time.
And I see this as I think it's more of a comment. It is a question too, but it's around red tag trailers. And folks, what I would tell you, as we go through this journey, we're going to send another survey out here by the end of the week that we would ask everybody to answer. So we've got our top 5 projects that we're going to work on. Trailers is the very top one. We're asking for additional information on things that we need to work on. But one of the questions was about red tag trailers. What are we doing in those terminals to get those fixed? I'm sure that's going to be part of the project, I would guess, to figure out how to either outside vendors, our shops, you're going to work hand in hand with them to get those fixed and get them moving out of our yard to eliminate the congestion, right?
Yeah, that's exactly it. A big part of that survey and kind of feedback that we got was, the 2 part of trailers was availability and condition, right? And this affects both of those. So if you're looking to get an empty trailer at the terminal, and we've got red tag trailers stacking up, that affects both, and that's an issue. So yes, based around everything you said, we're continuing to work with that. We work directly with the terminal leaders who, and the terminal service leaders who, care deeply about the equipment on the yard, and as well as not having overcrowded equipment on the yard, but working for the shop to get those rants through completely, and then that will also go back into the planners in the terminals of supplying a pool of empty available trailers at the terminals, and the auto solution piece as well. Hey, if it makes the most sense to give you a trailer right here out of the terminal, and you're here and you're close to your pickup location, and that's the way that it's going to program and be sent out as well.
And this might be a point where a terminal leader might ask some drivers, hey, would you like to make local money for the day, because you're just running red tag trailers to a vendor, or picking up trailers have been fixed, or all those different types of things, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I can tell you, we work a lot with the vendors on property. So having those folks come on and really have the capability to hit a large pool of trailers and get those fixed for us.
And then there's one I think it's kind of a comment, but we need an online map, easy, that can easily identify a trailer that has GPS. That's part of the Trailers Near Me feature coming soon, right?
That absolutely is. The GPS tracking will pull directly to a map, just as if it would, say if you were to Google, Starbucks, and you show Starbucks near me, you'll get 3 or 4 different locations. You'll get the mapping, you'll get the location, you can click which trailer you want to move to, and then the turn-by-turn directions as well from there.
So I think you somewhat touched on this, but is there an email we can discuss issues with? Or is, maybe that's voice your choice, or you tell us what's the best way to communicate with your team?
Yeah, for at the time being, voice your choice would certainly be the best route to go, as well as running through the driver leader. If you've got any specific questions, you can pass along to them. They have a great communication with our network team and myself, and they can send it that way. We are looking and providing a group email that will come out as we continue these, that we'll provide as well as we go.
So, if I'm at a drop lot, and usually a lot of these have 50, 100 of them, and I notice that there's 3 trailers missing a mud flap, or hey, the glad hand handles broke off, or something like that, I can easily get a hold of my driver leader and do what? How does that work? Just give them the trailer numbers, and I believe it's called back office trailer, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, our drivers, for the majority of the part, do a great job on identifying damaged equipment and reporting that to our back office group, which is our shop on-road group. And then the second they do, that goes into a queue to where they can go out. The on-road team, they can send mechanics on the site there to report the trailers. They may have a driver bring that trailer back to a shop or something to look at. But yeah, that's definitely the easiest and first line of defense. Either send that macro out there to the back office team, or report it to your driver leader, and a couple of keystrokes for your driver leader. All they need is that trailer number, the location that it's currently at, and sends that right off to our back office on-road team.
Well, and that's where I would plead to everybody that's listening, all of our drivers, hey, we're in this together. So we definitely need your help you're our eyes and ears on the ground, right? They need to give that feedback, even though that's a trailer they're not picking up, but they were picking up the trailer next to it, and they see the trailer next to it has, again, a missing mud flap, a glad hand, or something, a flat tire. If you report that, we're going to get somebody out for a service to get that trailer fixed for the next driver. So you're helping your fellow drivers. And then, of course, good pre-trips, post-trips, right? Don't drop anything in bad condition. When you get frustrated, a lot of times it could be that somebody left something for you that wasn't so good. But we also have some of our shippers, receivers a little hard on our equipment too. So don't always think it was the previous driver. Sometimes it was they dropped it in perfect shape, and yet the brakes didn't release. They drug the trailer and flattened a tire, or things happen, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously we want all of our drivers to continue to go that route. We did receive some feedback around the survey that was provided, and the new survey that will be coming out as well, that has a little more questions and information around accountability process on what we can do with, drivers that may not do the proper post-trip or drop damage equipment for kind of the next driver to work through. So definitely just want to say we heard your feedback there. We're working through that. We've got a team of resources around everything that we've got going here, but that's one as well that we're digging into for the drivers there.
Well, let me take just a couple more, but one of our drivers is talking about, hey, we show up to the location and we see this a lot of times. We had no clue, but they have 10 trailers loaded and they're all, and the shop, or not the shop, the dock person will tell us, oh, well, those are storage or those are future loads or something like that. What should the driver do in that situation? Contact the driver leader, or what are your thoughts?
Well, hopefully as we get a little bit further into what we're working on technological advances in some of these reporting, the inbound loaded to empty reporting, we should have a complete idea within our system whether that trailer is being used for paid storage for the customer, whether they're loaded, how long they've been loaded. So I would say, yeah, that first piece is get with your driver leader. They can raise that directly to us. We can make contact with customer accounts and the customer themselves about freeing that equipment up. But yeah, we've got a lot of tools in place to identify this. So as we move into delivery locations with customer pools, that will have available equipment for our drivers when they get there.
Last question, and then hey, we'll still answer some of these online right back to you. But what about when you go to a terminal, they won't release an empty, and they want you to do a local to find one or run all over town? Is what the comment is. I can jump in on this. It's really when you got things locked down at the terminal, it's probably because of a maintenance issue. I don't see, Nathan, correct me if I'm wrong, where we're locking a bunch of equipment down. So if you're running into that situation, I would talk to the planning leader, escalate to the terminal leader if needed. But then again, it's just mainly conversations, right? Communicate with the terminal leader. Why am I being sent? There's probably good reason, but I would say each one of those situations are probably a little bit unique, and just have that conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. I think every terminal leader would want to have an idea of when that's happening, or be able to provide to our drivers why that may be. It could be a number of different things, but ultimately on the trailer side, or what we're doing within the terminals, we're certainly not working to lock down a bunch of equipment for any reason. In fact, we're looking to do the exact opposite right now, and into 2021 is freeing up that equipment, as we said. Getting those red tag trailers moving again, and keeping small pools of terminals for ease of access for our drivers.
Excellent. Well, Nate, I think we're about 25 minutes into it. So I think with that, we appreciate you coming on. We appreciate you being a part, all the changes your department's making. It's good. I believe that this is one of the critical areas that probably cause drivers pain points. We know that it's frustrating to get out there and you can't find the right equipment to do what you need to do, but we are working diligently to get that fixed. We appreciate all that you do, and we want you just to be safe and take care, and more to come.
Absolutely. Thank you. We'll talk soon, guys.
Take care.